As we move down with the targeting, we've targeted all the existing curb and gutter, and now it's time to start looking at some of the proposed curb and gutter targeting. So what we have to do in that case, that's a little bit different scenario. And what we want to do there is we're going to use alignments and profiles because you have a lot more control. If it was just a straight grade from here down to the bottom here to tie into its existing curb and gutter, we could easily do that just with a feature line at a constant width or a constant slope from one end to the other. But it's pretty flat out there, and I'm not sure that it's going to make the minimum slope, curb and gutter slope that the city requires. So we're going to do this with alignments and profiles and kind of see where we stand with this. So we're going to use this lip of gutter line. We're going to create an alignment from this, and we're going to use it to create a profile and then to target. So the first thing we'll do is go to alignments and create from polyline. And we're going to grab this line here. And I know that it's going the correct direction, which is from upper screen to lower screen. I don't want to add any curves, and in this case I don't want to erase the entities because I want that to be my proposed curb and gutter in my final set of plans. So the alignment here is going to be right lip DeGarmo Park Drive to basically Eaton Road. And we want to make sure that, and we can go back and change this at any time, but we want to make sure that it's fairly descriptive here. So we say OK, and we go from DeGarmo Park starting at 0, and we go all the way down to, actually it's only to here, it's only to the existing curb and gutter, not all the way down to Eaton Road. So I would probably go through and change this to existing gutter. So we'll right click on that to existing gutter south. Okay, right lip DeGarmo Park to existing gutter south. That's the section that we want to create. We have an alignment that follows the profile, or follows that polyline. Now what we want to do is we want to create a profile from surface of that alignment. We want to add in OG, and we want to draw in, just continue on with our stuff, just like we always do, using any standards that we have available to us. Just next, and create the profile. So we'll create this profile. Looks like this. And remember, it's out in the dirt, so you would kind of expect it to look like that. And I'm going to change that, clicking on it, right-clicking, going to Profile Properties, and changing it to Original Ground Profile. So that's what it looks like there. Now we need to know where the existing curb and gutter is here, and know where the existing curb and gutter is here. And so we might be able to pick it off of this line, possibly. But the best way to do it is to go look at that feature line back at those two locations. Before we do, I'm just going to throw in a profile by layout here. And this is going to be proposed lip, and I'll say DeGarmo Park Drive to south. I'll say south to existing CG. It's probably close enough for right now. And when I do that, what I want to do is I want to start here at this blue line. That's the beginning of that alignment. And I don't care where I'm at. It does not matter where I'm at. And I want to go all the way down to the bottom of this one. And I want to go the nearest of that line also. The reason being is this was that existing curb and gutter on the north end, and this is the existing curb and gutter on the south end. Not the lip of the curb and gutter on the north end and the south end. So now what I can do is I can go back to here, and let's see, I'm taking off right from here. So if I click on this guy and I rest my cursor in there, in the coordinates down in the lower right hand corner, the third coordinate component says 170.43. So I want to write that down on a scrap piece of paper. And then I want to go down to the far end, the other end, to this end here, and find out what this elevation is. And so when I snap in there and rest in there, it's at 169.11 in the lower right-hand corner in the coordinates. If you don't have your coordinates turned on, you need to use this key right here and turn them on. You can go up here and then make sure coordinates has a checkbox near it. You'll be using your coordinates quite a bit. So if I have those two elevations at both ends, now I can go into here, and let's zoom back out. Let's zoom over to our profile here. Then I can go to this grid view, and now I need this guy. So I gotta bring this over. Bear with me here. And so I need this information here. So at 0, we wrote down an elevation of 170.43. And at the bottom, we wrote down an elevation of 169.11. And as we can see, the gutter grade, if we did a straight grade, it's only 0.1%. And our Chico minimum is 0.25% absolute minimum, and I usually try to design at 0.3 when I possibly can. So now we'll take this guy and we'll be using that here in just a short bit. I just want to kick it up to the side a little bit here. And we're going to be adding some PVIs to this, points of vertical intersection. So if this is the case and it's generally running downstream, down towards Eaton Road, we don't have, from what I can find, we don't really have any storm drain DIs out in the dirt that we can shoot towards. And even if we did, it may not make a difference. I'm not exactly sure. So what we can do here is we can use this button right here on the layout tools to insert some PVIs. And what I want to do is I want to insert some PVIs at even stations, because I like to design that way, or even 25-foot stations really. So as I zoom in on here, this is 226, so this is 225, so this has to be 200. And that's only 200 feet from the end. I want to go a little bit farther than that. We'll kind of rest our cursor here, and that's 276, so this is 300. So what I want to do is I want to say NEA, and I want to select that vertical line, and it adds a PVI at station 3 and a pair. Now that that's there, I just click there, I just chose anything really. And so the grade coming down here between those 2 points is 0.11, negative 0.11. So what I can do is, I'll end that command, and then I'll go to here and I'll say minus 0.25, which is an absolute minimum, and it changes that, keeps this same elevation here. I don't want to change that. That's existing. We're tying on to existing. That does not change. So we go to 0.25 here. Then we're going to go back up at 0.25 somewhere in this area right here, somewhere in here. So we'll have to add another PVI and say that this is 3 and a pair. We want to go about 200 to 250 feet. So that's 300 a pair, and we want to go to say 550. So what is it here? So this line right here is 550, this vertical line. So I'm just going to go NEA and I'm going to select it. Does not matter where it's going, because then I can click in, I can say, I can accept that. And now I can change this to 0.25 positive to bring it up. Then as we come back down, and that's at 550, so we want to go to, say, 850 or 900. So I'll select this guy again to insert a PVI. And this is 812, so this line right here is 900. So I'll go NEA, doesn't matter where I select it, does not matter. I'll say OK there, and then I want to go down from there a minus 0.25. And now that last one going all the way down to Eaton Road is again not steep enough. So I would adjust some of these. It's going in a general location down, but I have to have these ups and downs in order to direct the storm drain in the new gutter pan to awaiting DIs. And each one of these low points will have a DI installed there once we're done. And this is what's going to decide where those DIs go. So for the most part, we're going down, but we need to go down a little differently in order to make this last one work out right here. So there's going to be a little bit of playing going on, but what I wanted to show you is if you click here and you see 3 arrows, and if I grab this arrow and I drag it here, you see how it continues to project that the tangent before it continues to traject that down. If I select the other one, it does the same thing in the other direction. So using these, we can kind of adjust these pretty clearly or pretty quickly and just do a little bit of cleanup at the end, and it should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back down. I'm going to bring it back down to closer to here. And this snapped at 299.49. I want to make sure that that's 290 or 250 to be even. And then we'll again use this 0.25. And we're going to bring this guy back down a little ways. And we're just going to be kind of playing with this for a little bit. And this is 425. We'll make it even again, make a nice clean design. And we want to set that at 0.25. And then this is 0.17, so we need to bring this guy down a little bit closer. We don't want to make too many of these whoop-de-doos because it will start affecting the ride of the drivers. So we want to make sure that we're getting this thing right. In fact, the way I'm really doing it, I think, is probably counterproductive. I'm going to do an undo for several times here because I don't want to have too many of these things in there. Otherwise, you'll feel it when you drive, and we certainly don't want to feel it when we drive. So we'll go back to our original, this is our original design. We had 0.25s up and down until that last bit. And so one thing I can do is I can increase some of these down a little bit farther. Let me think about this. And let's see, this one's going down. So I really need to either have this come back from the intersection or have it go down to the intersection. And I'm not exactly sure which direction would be the best way to do it. Let's kind of play around with this a little bit, but you can kind of see where I'm going with this. We need to adjust this profile so that we can get longitudinal drainage correct. And then once that's decided, then we can target this profile with the corridor.